Indeed.
Welcome, everyone. I forgot to turn on the captions. There we go. Everyone was cut off. All right. Final game of the Meowrathon. We've got Worldwide Wrestling 2E, the NLW. What was it called? NLW
Cataclysm.
Cataclysm.
First
I
ever
should have remembered that.
pay-per-view.
Nice. So, before we get into that, we're just going to go around and just introduce ourselves and tell us what you do. And we'll start with Sasha.
I am Sasha Romanov, she, her, lifelong enthusiast of smacking people with other people. Whether that be in TV or in MMA gyms across the country. I'm actually going to take a second to ramble about wrestling, given that this is my game and you can't stop me. Wrestling has always been a very special medium of performance to me because it is so closely tied with reality that it helps to process real events through the lens of wrestling. I have unpacked so many years of my own personal trauma simply by essentially fantasy booking my own mental health. It's amazing what you can do when you just add a tiny element of unreality to your everyday life and let yourself live in that sensationalist moment. But that's me. Who am I joined by today? Yeah. Who is subjecting themselves to my imagination?
Let's talk to Rosie next.
Yes, hello. My name is Rosemary Banks. I am a musician, creator, internet person, pixel artist, so many things. You can find my music on Bandcamp under the name Rose Gold, ROXEGOLD. And you can also find me on YouTube under the same name, where is the home of my podcast, where me and my friend Joan watch and review every Pokemon movie. It's a good time. And I'm also here to play Worldwide Wrestling.
And then looks like Gretchen may have dropped, so we'll go on to A.
Hello, yes, that's just my Steam, no, not Steam, email user. Hi, I'm Ileana, pretty normal person, don't do a lot. Friend of Sasha invited to this game after it was shared to our friend Discord.
Nice.
And I wanted to try it out, and also help a charitable business.
Yes, help little animals like this, and the one that should be on screen.
Yes.
Oh, look at him dangling. And then I think we're waiting for.
Gretchen has messaged in the Discord that their computer has crashed. She will be joining us shortly.
All right.
I give it a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sasha, tell me about this wrestling.
How long have you got?
Oh, dear.
No, so let me actually set the groundwork, I suppose.
Because we could also talk about the bonuses. I don't think Gretchen needs to be here for that.
This is true. I can start with that. So for $1, you may grant us a bonus die. Worldwide Wrestling 2nd Edition is a 2d6 system, much like many other systems that are very, very good. You roll 2d6 and either subtract the lowest depending on your skill modifiers. It sounded more complicated than it is. It'll all make sense in practice. For $1, you may grant a bonus die and potentially prevent catastrophe. For $2, you can forcibly switch a change in narrative control. Each match is narrated by one or the other player at any given time. And for $2, you can just swap it. No questions asked. For $5, I'm terrified of this one. In a separate window, I have a table of 20 slots, 10 of which are safe, 10 of which have random encounters of what could happen during the course of the event. And for $5, you can force me to roll a d20 and implement whatever consequence I land on. For $10, you may choose a fan favorite. A wrestler of your choice can make the over move, which is a move in this game that grants you certain benefits, should you use it. Typically, you can only use this in the top spot or with certain specifications. In this case, anyone can do it. Maybe you follow them on social media. I don't know. We'll figure that out. And for $50, you can just really ruin my night and summon an invasion from a rival promotion to just completely derail the show and try to steal the title. That can only happen once because I'm not a complete masochist, but it can happen. Now, as for the promotion itself, we will be wrestling for 9 Lives Wrestling, which is the brainchild of former Invasion Wrestling Alliance Ultimate Champion Catherine Reyes. She is a veteran wrestling talent, multiple championship runs, legend in the space, and now she's built her own promotion to try to build up the next generation of talent. And Cataclysm represents the next step into becoming a real, honest-to-God international promotion.
All right.
Let's see. Gretchen is still going. We'll get into details as we go, so you won't be expected to remember everything all at once. But just remember that the 9LW title is on the line, and someone will be walking out of the building as the inaugural champ. Assuming they can walk out of the building. We might have to stretch them out. Perfect time.
Welcome back.
Hello.
All right. Well, we were doing introductions, and you're the one left.
Yeah.
I'm the one left. Okay. Hi. I'm Gretchen. I've been a big fan of wrestling my whole life, and that was the big reason I wanted to do this. It was something that really helped me through a lot of big moments. I don't know. Am I saying the character I play too?
We haven't gotten to that yet. I
Nope.
would actually...
Okay.
Just who
I'd
you
like you to
are, and if
hold
you
on
have
to that
anything
just for a
you
second.
want to, like, podcast or anything you do, if that's even a thing, anything you want to kind of share with the folks.
No, I don't really have much to share. I'm just here and excited to play.
Fair enough. So
All
we'll hand
right.
it off to Sasha to get this ball rolling. We are just, what was it, $50 shy of hitting our milestone and beating our last Meowrathon. So let's see if we can do it. Come on, guys,
See
we can
what
do
we
it.
can do. I believe. Okay. Our camera opens on a event center. It is buzzing, but the parking lot is fairly sparse still. It's mostly staff and talent who are here already, still setting up the last couple of details. Catherine Reyes has been in her office just stressing. It has been a long, long year, and she is just desperate for this to go well. She gets up. She ducks her head into the locker room to make sure that everyone's here and everyone's ready. And who does she see first, I wonder? I will continue to wonder.
Yeah.
Someone introduce yourself.
I'm too
okay.
important to go first. Someone else.
Right,
All right.
your character would probably have their own locker room, but we'll get into that.
All right. In the locker room, there stands a relatively tall woman changing into a rather fancy outfit. Dandies at Sam, classic wrestler come to the professional league. Put on a fedora, a unique mishmash mishmash of a suit items, such as some tear-off pants, suit pants, a leotard, a tuxedo leotard, and a black fur coat. Well, rip
Oh
Gretchen.
dear.
Oh, not again.
It's okay. Can make this work.
If need be, we did have someone on a tablet yesterday, so for the same
That's
reason.
true. If it comes down to it, we can't always just swap devices.
Mhm. Hopefully that'll work out.
Hopefully. Anyway, having seen Sam where she needs to be, I'd like to walk out of the event center. Catherine will walk out of the event center and into the nearby trailer, or rather to the nearby trailer parked just outside. It is absolutely just ridiculously painted, over the top, practically plated in gold, but the dealership said no because then it would be too heavy to move, and that's the only reason it isn't. And inside, here we go. Who does she find?
Inside is a woman doing her best to look flawless and powerful, filing her nails to a perfect point and draping herself in fur and gold. Yes, yes, I'll be there in just a minute, darling.
All right. It does worry me a little bit that our other finalist, for this is a tournament for the title. It has been a long couple of months, and we're finally down to the final 3, hopefully. It is worrying to notice, however, that one of the other prospects, the prep school knockout, Morgan Birch, appears to be missing. No matter, the show must go on one way or another. And so Catherine, with a steadying breath, decides to open the doors. Now, for our first segment, I would like you all to give me a 30 to 45 second sizzle reel of your exploits in the last episode. Who did you annihilate to get here? And who do you have in your crosshairs tonight? This is a double elimination tournament, so if you lose twice, you are out of contention. So, starting with Illy, Dan, does that Sam? What did you get up to last episode on 9LW?
I'm gonna say last episode. Let's say if doing a practice fight with a another classical wrestler from the that joined Cataclysm for again a chance at the crown.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
need to say it was a classy victory from Dan is that Sam.
As it shows on the Titantron, and indeed on TVs and people's homes, Dan is at Sam with a handy victory over one of her longtime rivals and or tag partners in other promotions. It's not exactly a huge upset, but it is definitely a handy victory, and she has quite a bit of momentum moving into this next match. Cutting then to Prince George. What have you gotten up to last episode on 9 Lives Wrestling?
On the last episode, I believe, I was continuing my conquest through this adorable little promotion of yours. You'll forgive me if I don't exactly remember the names of my last competitor. All you peasants blend together. I do seem to remember they were someone rather important in 9LW. At least they were at the beginning of the fight. But they all end the same. They all bow before me.
It's true. After a horrific fight with, well, some would call it horrific, a crushing defeat for Insomnia, one of our 9LW regulars, taking an absolutely vicious divine right to the sternum and crumbling at the feet of Prince George before a humiliating roll-up pin. It was an absolute slaughter. Gretchen is getting a phone. Excellent.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon we'll come to that eventually. After such a strong sizzle reel, I mean, you must be on top of the world right now as far as momentum. Is there anything you would like to say to any of your opponents for tonight? In fact, in a backstage segment,
Welcome.
So sad.
One
So
of
sorry.
the,
Thank you.
You're good. You're all good. One of the 9LW staff, a Stan Burcham, sure that's his name now.
Mm-hmm.
Our man on the scene, Stan. He goes, Prince George, why don't you tell me how you're feeling following the events of last week's episode?
To be honest with you, I'm starting to grow rather tired of the, what do you call them, talent in 9LW?
Well, that's certainly strong words. Tonight is scheduled to be the most difficult set of matches yet. You'll be wrestling not once, not twice, but potentially 3 times, assuming you don't get eliminated tonight. Do you believe that you have the stamina to make it through the gauntlet?
Pardon me, peasant. What was your name?
Stan.
Stan. Lovely. We all know the truth. There is no one in this tournament, no one in Cataclysm, more deserving of taking the throne of 9LW, no one more ready to retire Kitty Vicious than yours truly.
You intend to retire her?
Tonight's a coronation, isn't it? Might as well make it one to remember.
Well, certainly strong words from one of our contenders. Since this isn't directed at anyone, I'm hesitant to roll a promo, but I feel like I want to anyway, just to demonstrate how the game works. So, in the sport of wrestling, there's in-ring talent and there's mic talent. And mic talent, a lot of the time, especially in American promotions, is way more important for building your character. And this is reflected in Worldwide Wrestling with the move Cut a Promo. When you take the mic and speak your mind, roll plus look. Look is one of the 4 stats that we have for each wrestler, which includes body, look, style, and reel.
Work and real.
Work and reel. What did I say?
Style.
That was Card Heroes.
Yes, it was.
It is. They're all blending together. God help me. And if I pull up your character sheet specifically,
I have a +2 to my look.
you have a +2. So if you would go ahead and roll 2d6, let's see how this goes.
Woo! That'll be an 11 from me.
On an 11, interesting. So, much like Blades in the Dark, there are tiers to success. A 10 plus is a really good, just pure success. A 7 and 9 is what in Blades would be considered a mixed success, where there are conditions and stipulations, and a 6 or lower is considered a botch, and these have negative consequences. So for an 11, you connect with the audience, pick 2 from the 7 to 9 list. So you may either make creative, book you in a match, add a stipulation to a relevant match. You haven't been booked in any yet, They come out to respond to your promo. Again, it was fairly general, so I don't really know who would. Maybe everyone. Or gain +1 heat with the subject of your promo, and you may pick 2 of those.
Okay. Of that, am I currently booked for a match?
Everyone is currently booked for a match against everyone else, the order of which isn't clear just yet. So you could influence that now if you so wanted.
And to remind me, the tournament here, the winner is who will go on to wrestle Kitty Vicious.
Right. The last wrestler standing after the double elimination bracket will be the one to have a shot, not necessarily a guaranteed title, but a shot at Kitty Vicious for the title.
Okay. And when you say add stipulation to a match, what do you mean by that?
That's a fun one. If you are booked in a match, it is a standard schedule for 1 fall. You could have no time limit. You could make it tables, ladders, chairs. You could make it basically, what kind of mixer do you want to add to this match? How weird do you want to go with it? So you will be wrestling one of these women pretty soon. If you wanted to, you could choose which one right now and add a stipulation to said match. I do remind you that you do have the highest heat outside of Kitty. You do have the highest heat with Dandazet Sam.
I do have the highest heat with Sam. I do think I want to book a match with him.
All right. Creative books you in a match against Sam, and you get 1 more out of that list for your
I'm allowed to
success.
If I am allowed to add stipulations.
All right.
What weapons am I allowed to add?
If you make it a no DQ match, anything you want.
Let me think. Dandazite Sam, remind me who you are.
Well, a classical wrestler dressed in this sort of like, you could describe it as like a mafia or like a mob style of outfit. Very like jazz era.
I see. Then I say we should make our next match. Let's add some classic American flavor to it, shall we?
Oh.
And let's add 2 Louisville Sluggers to the ring.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Prince George calling her shot early, as she is on the top of the tournament points-wise, which is something I really just made up. I don't know where I'm going with this. She's called her shot early against Sam with 2 baseball bats present in the ring. And I think that is a wonderful time to cut to Sam in the locker room with our other correspondent. I don't know, you name him. let's see. We'll call him Tom. Tom something.
Oh right, yeah,
that's-
that guy. The
That's right, Stan. I'm here with the challenged Dandazette Sam. You are currently holding strong at second place in this tournament, and you have been called out by the Crown Prince herself. What do you have to say in response to this?
then is that Sam now getting up and presumably closing the locker she was just working with. Oh, really now? Quite exciting.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we've got a bonus die.
Hmm. What for?
Unsure at the moment. We'll keep that. I'm just going to give that to the next person who rolls. So, the creative has booked you two in a match. And I think, unless anyone else has something they'd want to seed for later, we should just go right to that.
Alrighty.
Now. Worldwide Wrestling is a very fun game because the players functionally do all of the work. They portray the wrestling talent, but they also serve as the wrestling announcers. I, as creative, get to book the match. They work the match. So. Creative chooses who starts in control. Often one player will have done better on a pre-match cut a promo or work the audience move indicating that they should start it off, or just pick based on what feels right. If in doubt, whoever has more momentum starts in control. As the match starts, Creative designates one of the players not in the match as this announcer. Use a prop like a physical microphone or note card with announcer written on it to keep track. I think given there's only 3 of us, only one person will be not wrestling at a time. So Gretchen, you will be our ring announcer for this opening match.
All right.
The
All
announcer's
right.
job is to call the match as if they were color commentary at ringside, recapping the action and putting their own spin on things as the match progresses. The announcer has their own move, enabling them to put over wrestlers whenever they feel like the action needs a boost. After a wrestler in a match rolls the dice for a move, recap what they just did in the most glowing light, including covering up or explaining away an error or a botch, and bump the die roll up to the next result level. So you have some sway in this as well.
Oh.
So, the two of you make your way to the ring. Go ahead and take a moment and describe your entrance.
Alright, who wants to go first? You or me?
I think Sam, you should make your way to the ring first.
Alrighty. Let's say jazz music is playing as, with a very confident stride, Sam walks into the arena, sporting her glory suit, coat, and fedora. Right before getting into the ring, she takes it off, doing a quick toss to the crowd, presumably to much to their cheers of the fans.
Interesting.
Before quickly tearing away the suit pants and taking off the coat, tossing them aside as she walks in with the tuxedo leotard on, completely ignoring the bat that is lying on the ground.
It's true. On either side, next to opposite ring posts, lay a beautiful wooden bat. You'd think it came out of the MLB Hall of Fame from somewhere in the country. Anyway, as Sam's music dies down, what follows it?
Ah, yes. From the stage, a regal peal of trumpets announces the entrance of a tall woman clothed head to toe in fine jewels. About her shoulders, an imported fur cape, and upon her head, a beautiful wrought 25-carat golden crown. As she makes her way beautifully and elegantly to the ring, a man accompanies her to her left with a trumpet and scroll in either hand. And as soon as George enters the ring. The man pulls out the scroll, unfurls it until it is rolling across the ground, and announces in a very proper voice, Her Highness Prince Georgina Amelia Windsor III accepts this match only on the condition that her opponent, Dandazet Sam, should they lose, recognize her authority over the lands of America, from Atlantic to Pacific, in the states of Alaska and Hawaii, in the territories of Puerto Rico, Guam, the Virgin Islands, and all American territories, both present and future. You will then turn to Sam. Do you accept these terms?
Hands on hips, she sort of just glances around for a second. Sure, why not?
Beautiful.
With
Now-
that, George will offer her cape and crown to her heralds to take out of the ring.
Very good. Now that we have both of our talents in the ring, let's talk a little bit about working the match. Whoever has control narrates their wrestler's moves and prompts their opponent for their responses. This is a conversation. Talk with your dance partner and don't simply dictate to them. Just as your wrestlers work together to entertain the imaginary viewing audience, you and your friends should work together to entertain everyone at your table. You should cover a whole range of action with your narration as opposed to a single spot at a time. These sequences lead up to big moments in the matches when you go to the dice and find out how it goes. Generally, you'll make the wrestling move, but you can make any other move that is appropriate to your actions, like work the audience or a gimmick move that applies to the squared circle. A common issue for players who haven't watched a lot of wrestling is the cadence. There's an element of deliberate pacing unique to the form where wrestlers do transitional maneuvers to link together big spots that pop the crowd and punctuate the action. While your wrestler may perform 3 or 4 moves in a row, it is the last and most important one that you roll for with the wrestling move. So with that in mind, I will book George to start this match. The bell rings and away we go.
Alrighty.
And now, the part where we reveal Rosie knows nothing about wrestling.
Don't worry, I am in the same boat.
Good. Okay.
I saw this coming. It's okay.
All right. I say this because I have absolutely no clue how to open a wrestling match.
Well, you did specify a Louisville Slugger match, so
I agree.
that is an option. If
I
you'd
think
like to just come
having-
out swinging.
I think having made the stipulation herself and having absolutely no qualms about finishing things with her own 2 hands or whatever sort of moral, problem there would be to just absolutely destroying her opponent with a weapon, George is going to run for a bat and absolutely just come out swinging towards Sam.
Alrighty.
Very good. Now, that sounded like you were giving over control.
Like I was giving over control?
Right. Well, when you ended your sentence, it sounded like you were
yes.
expecting Sam to respond.
Yes,
This is what
correct.
we call handing over control.
Alright then.
And when you do that, you gain a momentum. So if you would go ahead and mark that on your sheet.
Understood.
Let me quickly explain momentum. Momentum is a sort of currency that performers can use throughout the match to perform moves that they may otherwise not be able to, such as interrupt, run in, or forcibly take control back of a match. With that said, George takes a wild swing at Sam. How does Sam respond?
Well, of course, sneering at the sight of a weapon in a wrestling match. Her first attempt is going to be try and get low, and sort of trying to get under the bat and into George's stomach for a grab, like a nice bear hug.
Okay. Where do you go from there? Give me sort of a flow. What are you trying to? Try not to think about it less as as much as a physical contest, but narratively, what are you trying to achieve here? What's the spot that you want to get to? Are you going for a quick pin? Do you want to use your own weapon, or you don't have to? You could try to end this early. You could try to drag this out.
Essentially, going for at minimum, well, just go for like to show how the weapon is not helping George in this scenario. To essentially just show that your weapon has failed, and I still have made a move against you.
I see.
Okay, so you duck under this wild swing from George and get what I can only describe as a gut wrench.
Yep.
And it sounds like you are also giving over control.
Yes.
I would also like to gently nudge Gretchen and remind her that you are color commentary for this match.
Yes, that's. I'm trying to figure out where I jump in. Sorry.
You've been ringside the whole time.
The time.
I
Okay.
think now
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Sorry.
You're good.
No
No
worries.
pressure. So, as said earlier, Illy, you gain a momentum for ceding control, and it is back to George. You've just been grabbed after having your swing ducked. How dare? What do?
Indeed. I think that I'm going to let this grab happen. Not because I couldn't dodge it, not because I couldn't prevent it, but because I want to give the audience hope.
Oh, okay. Interesting. In that case, I am going to make the executive decision to give control back to Illy.
All right. Now with this grab,
Mm-hmm.
now with this gut wrench going on, I say Sam, given this wonderful opportunity, is going to try and wrench George off to the side and down to the ground.
All right, you want to take down. And
Yes.
where are you going with this? What's your end game? Are you trying to finish this quick? You trying to put a submission hold on?
Actually, I'm thinking about this better. I think I'm going to actually try and do a throw.
Oh,
Changes to the
okay.
throw.
Ooh.
Try and
All
throw
right.
and also follow up with a statement directly towards her dance partner.
Ooh, very good.
Ooh.
So as I've understood, you've ducked under this wild bat swing, shot in for what could essentially be either a gut wrench or a double leg, depending on how you decided to play it. And then you want to throw her. Just
Yes,
bodily throw. Okay.
Sort of, it could be just a sort of push. It could be just a sort of like turn and throw.
Okay.
I would.
Whatever motion George does not resist as well.
I see. As you've
George
described,
does not resist the throw. No. However.
as you've described it, it sounds very much like a German suplex to me.
Let me look at what that looks like.
It is where, in this case, you would have a gut wrench around your opponent's
Yes,
waist,
sort of.
stomach area, and just bridge backwards.
That sounds good.
There you Resident Evil.
Hurt.
And would you like to cede control at this juncture?
Well, I do that follow-up statement, though. That's sort of
Ooh,
like
very good.
in-character remark towards George.
Go on.
Go on.
Come now, George. Show me wrestling, not street fighting.
Ooh.
Ooh, a German
I would-
suplex into a little trash talk.
Very good. I would like you to roll Work the Audience, please, Sam.
Alrighty, work. I should
When you
have
pump
a
up, lambast, or
plus
otherwise work to get the crowd cheering or jeering, you roll plus audience.
So that should be a 2d6 plus, of course, my bonus to work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I got a 4.
A 4. Oh dear.
Ooh, yeah.
That is a botch. Now we do have a bonus die if you would like to use that, as well as Gretchen as color commentary can put you over and alleviate the botch.
Well, I guess I'll use that bonus die then.
Very
I'll
good.
roll it flat and just add it to the existing 4. And that is a 2 to a 6. Not much changed.
Oh dear.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but since you're playing, you do add audience to this?
Yes, this is plus audience.
Oh, plus audience. Well, I have a +2 to audience.
Okay.
So that would be up to a 8 if that was true.
Just. On a 7 to
right.
9, they play along, gain +1 momentum.
Oh.
Okay.
See, this is the core loop of Worldwide Wrestling. It's less about the individual spots and more about the sequences to get to them. So whatever it is you're doing, always be thinking about what is my next big moment that is going to be on highlight reels all over YouTube for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
What are people going to be saying on the forums? Whoa, it was so cool when. That's what we're trying for.
Okay.
And with that, I believe control is ceded back to Prince George.
Correct. I think that insulted at the notion that any of the actions I would put forward would be those of a street fighter. George is going to leap up off of the ground and try to get a leg lock around her opponent's neck.
Ooh. Okay. Where are we going from here?
Sam would try to guard against it, possibly let some of it happen, but try not to, possibly just guard against it. Just like a simple arm around the neck to make it arm in front of the face. Make it so that she can still sort of push out of it, but still is technically leg locked.
Okay. Right.
Because what I am trying to do is essentially respond by throwing Sam down to the mat.
Uh-oh. Well, that is our first Murphy's Law. You two carry on with that. I'm going to quickly roll on the chaos table and pray the entire arena doesn't go up in flames, which is an option.
Oh.
Ah, yeah.
Oh.
Announcer, anything to say about this recent turn of events?
It's. Sorry.
It's okay, it's a lot of pressure.
I know. I'm still kind of getting my feet, but incredible way to open a match with quick into a suplex, into some good grappling. Sam hasn't given up power yet, but George is really pushing for this.
So that was a 12, which is camera malfunction. The entire segment is lost, gain 0 audience.
Damn.
So
Damn.
on TV, it's technical difficulties, but the live audience, the arena is still very much packed, so it's not like there's no one here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So it seems very much a stalemate. Which one of you will... Also, I would like to stress to you and everyone at home that wrestling is not, strictly speaking, a competition. These are performers who are attempting to put on a show, but they're not directly competing with each other.
Right.
So between the two of you, what seems the most narratively satisfying?
Well, I'm first. Sam is going to start off with a compliment to George.
George.
Okay, very good.
Would it be
very
possible
good.
to combine this with always learning? Try and do
Ooh.
something here.
Describe that to me quickly.
When working a match with someone known to be better than myself, roll
Mhm.
roll a work, 2d6 plus work. On a 10 plus, pick 2 options. 7 through 9, pick 1. Here's the options: gain 1 momentum, gain 1 heat, or gain opponent's respect. Oh, and rematch is booked for loser of this match to win.
Interesting. I'll allow it. Go ahead and roll.
All right. That's plus work. So I get 9. I got a 9, so I'll pick one of these options.
Indeed. I think you have almost max heat with George.
Yes, 3. So I was thinking, as I said, I was going to use it to state a compliment. This compliment being, yes, that's it. That's wrestling. And I would like to pick the option of, would we agree with gain opponent's respect? Would George respect this?
I don't think so.
What are you doing?
Essentially saying, good job. That is wrestling. That you're showing true wrestling, not a swing a bat at someone.
It depends what you mean by respect.
Okay, never mind.
It's kind of me saying no.
Okay, yeah. So I say, let's gain heat. I'll gain 1 heat.
That does sound very good. So that puts you at max heat with George. Spicy, spicy indeed. How do you respond to this, George? You've just been complimented in the middle of your own match that you intended to end 2 moves ago.
Oh. I think that rather than acknowledge this compliment simply on its face and to take it in charitably, George instead turns to the audience and will attempt to play to the crowd and say, "Now, don't you understand it? Beneath all of that soft American bravado, every single one of you so ready to declare the excellence of your superiors."
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Taking a
Nice.
moment to talk a little shit instead of perhaps defending yourself. Interesting. Go
my-
ahead and
Never
roll
missed
it.
This is my attempt to use my move as a provocateur to play to the crowd.
Okay.
George never misses a moment to put herself over.
Absolutely not. You should have said something at the front of this game. You all are very wonderful, lovely people, and I'm glad to be here playing with you. Unfortunately, I'm playing a heel.
Right.
We know.
Take
We are
nothing
all
personally. I
we're all
promise.
professionals. None of it's taken personally.
Okay, cool.
It's all part of the business.
Okay, so my play to the crowd is a 7.
7. Okay, that is just a success.
Right.
What does that
so
get you?
I can choose whether my
And I can I put her over. If I wanted to put her over, I could bump her to the next level up, right? That's how that works?
If you, as commentator, explain how it's actually a higher roll, then yes.
Okay, cool. I'll think about that.
Interesting. So 7 and 9, choose whether it's a hit backstage, +2 momentum, or someone comes out to take you to task over it, +1 heat with them.
Oh.
So, George, you actually choose whether you want heat with someone or you want the extra momentum.
I think I'll just take the extra momentum. I don't feel like I am invoking anyone's name in particular at the moment.
Okay. Very, very good. So with that, I'm actually going to give control over to Sam. It seems in the moment that George is distracted. How does Sam capitalize on this opportunity?
She's going to get into basically a equal distance position away from her. Like, she's on one side of the ring, she's on the opposite side. And she's just
Okay, so we reset.
she's gonna stand there and sort of just pose. Ooh, how would I use this with a picture perfect? I'm pretty sure that's just +1 look. So I'm just gonna sit there and sort of pose and wait for George to get back to the fight.
Okay. At this point, I believe the audience would be getting a little bit antsy at the moment. There hasn't been a lot of build-up and release for a lot of these moves, and so just as GM, I'm nudging you a little bit that you do want to kind of narratively build to these points instead of just launch straight into them.
Okay.
Like a good wrestling match is a back and forth.
Can you kind of elaborate on that so you can give us an idea of what we're headed towards? I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, okay. So I'm learning now that I really should have made you all watch some wrestling with me.
Probably. Would have helped.
Oh,
And I still will after this. But in every wrestling match, there's something called psychology, which is how believable are the actions of who I'm watching. A good wrestling match tends to move like a pendulum, where when momentum changes, it swings dramatically. So you could go from a pinning predicament to a kick out, and now suddenly the other person is in a pinning predicament, or they get to roll their signature move. The idea isn't so much, I'm not necessarily saying do more wrestling moves, but I am saying take advantage of control while you have it, build yourself up,
Gotcha.
and create that swing when/if it goes the other way.
Gotcha. Okay. So go for the kill. Understood.
Sure.
Is it to
Okay.
change my action then.
Elaborate.
Essentially, instead of just purely just sitting around waiting, I'm actually gonna sit there and ask for George to continue the fight. Say, let's roll. I'm gonna use a picture perfect to roll for luck. Essentially just taunt George. Give her more. Sam will say to George after this sort of gloating is finished, head in the game, George. Prove yourself. And I'm gonna roll that. That's an 11 for a picture perfect.
Oh. Okay.
Move doesn't exactly do much other than just I just flat out have 1+ luck.
Okay.
So it's essentially just a passive buy. I'm just rolling it just cause.
Understood.
Got it. So I'm going to give control back to George.
Understood.
And as this is where something character psychology especially is important, because you as a performer are trying to put this woman over and put yourself over and make a solid match. As a character, you must be furious.
Absolutely.
So,
Dare.
knowing that, how would you respond to this?
Whatever, like...
Squeaky just donated $50.
Ooh, nice.
No!
Oh,
Let's
Oh,
go.
We got our
does that mean we've done
milestone
it?
as well. Thank you, Squeaky.
and we've...
Thank you, Squeaky!
shit, I just realized what that means. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, good!
Okay. I was expecting this to come up slightly later, but I guess we're doing this now. As you go to lock up again, you hear a song that you weren't expecting to hear. No one's-
Squeaky says, by the way, in chat that she did not specify an invasion, but do it if you want.
Yeah, you could also hold it off a little bit until it's more appropriate, but it's gonna happen.
I think if it's gonna
Okay.
happen, it's gonna happen. I like that it'll happen. Maybe let's not do it first match.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep that in mind.
But still, thank you, Squeaky.
Very, very good. I may actually put that in my back pocket in case I need to nudge you into slightly more interesting territory.
Okay.
Right, so, George, you have control. You got to lock up again. You are kind of insulted that this peasant is even on even footing with you, let alone booked in the same match. How do you want to just annihilate her?
I think that whatever picture of regality that George usually carries herself with at this insult has fully disappeared. George is going to reach back down to the mat, grab up her bat, and just absolutely start just wailing Sam into the ground, full force, drawing blood if she has to.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ah.
Ooh.
So I would
one's-
like you
that-
to roll work real stiff,
Mm-hmm.
which will be plus real.
Oh, yay, and now the fun part of my stats where I have to actually do wrestling, which I'm bad at. Let's work real stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that
Ooh,
sucks.
a botch.
I do have a lot of momentum to fix that.
You do. You can spend momentum to bump that up a little bit.
Announcer, do you want to be a friend?
I was
And help
actually
that
going
roll
to
go up?
say, these brutal hits are flying in left and right, hitting the mat around, and grazing a few hits in a way that keeps Sam down on the ground. Drops Sam for some reason, maybe just out of fear.
She's doing such a wonderful job. Most wrestlers would aim straight for the head or perhaps the torso at this point, but by keeping her impacts unpredictable, Sam can't get a base to get up. It's beautiful technical wrestling and technical genius from the Crown Prince George, who very much knows what she's doing and can just beef it. Very
Alright.
good. So that is... You only get to do that once per match, I believe.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
As announcer, yes. However, you have saved that from being a botch.
Murphy's Law.
Oh, no.
Oh, if we
And
got
5
another...
bonus die. Okay. I'm gonna go for the Murphy's Law. Let's see what happens. 2 and 1.
All right. Please don't
Okay.
have the cameras cut off while I'm having a moment again.
That is a safe slot. We are good.
Yeah!
Okay. Alright.
Very, very good.
Okay.
After you've unleashed this barrage of blows, I think it's pretty clear that if Sam wants to come back and win this match, they're going to have to bring something astonishing. I'm tempted to book George as the winner of this match, unless either of you can convince me why that's not the correct choice.
I don't know if George personally would accept this kind of win.
Interesting.
Now, to be fair, I don't know if George is thinking clearly. However,
To be clear, when you're booked as the winner, you will roll for your finisher. So it's not just a straight beating their brains out
Okay.
with a baseball bat.
good. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I want to win. Meaning me.
All right.
Hmm.
Illy, would you like to resist this? Now, when I book George as the winner, as creative, this doesn't mean necessarily that it's over. She still has to roll her finisher for one, and you
Okay.
may have some moves, depending on your class, where you can potentially go into business for yourself and just say no.
Hmm.
Do you have a move like that? I don't actually know.
Well, the moves I have. I could. I've been thinking about this. I couldn't potentially use always learning to just sort of like take this opportunity to sort of figure out a counter towards being swung at it by a bat.
I don't think that's
No?
quite how that one
Okay,
works,
fair.
I'm afraid. So I will book George to win this match. Go ahead and roll your finisher, please, and describe what that is.
Absolutely. God, fuck. All right, no, I'm spending all of my goddamn momentum to make that a 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not happening.
yeah. I'll allow it.
I refuse to accept that. That was a 6 on the dice.
Also,
for
don't
it
people
was
forget
at
you've
home.
got
six,
5
but it has
bonus dice.
I have bonus dice,
That's
but
true.
I also just have flat momentum to spend. I had 4 momentum stored up that I can just use to bump that 6 up to a 10.
Right.
Which I
Go
will
ahead
do.
and go ahead and describe how this
All right.
happens.
As Sam is still staggered and bloody in front of George, just barely hanging on after her assault, George drops the bat through feet and moves forward for her finishing move, the divine right, a strong right uppercut directly into Sam's gut that causes her to buckle over and fall to the mat on one knee. From there, George drops to the ground, grabs that remaining leg, and rolls her into a roll-up pin.
Ah.
The shoulders are down. The ref slides in. 1, 2, 3.
3.
And the bell is rung. The match is over, and George has her first victory
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yeah.
double elimination format. This is not the end of Sam.
Mm-hmm.
It is double elimination, yes.
It is double elimination. However, Sam, if you lose a second time, that is you out of this tournament.
I know.
Interesting. Interesting.
Brutal
indeed.
beatdown to end a very
Very
talky
much
match.
so.
And of course,
this time-
as soon as bell is rung, George stands up to parade in front of what is certainly a livid booing crowd.
Oh,
just
they are
fully
furious.
preening.
They are so furious right now.
There it is.
Barely wrestled. You just hit a woman with a baseball bat and then proceeded to punch her in the gut. This wasn't a match. This was a slaughter, and this is not what they paid to see.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Now this is a heel.
Very.
I take pride in my work.
Good work.
Thank you.
As the situation in the ring resolves itself eventually, both of you coming back up the ramp, Sam presumably holding some undoubtedly bruised ribs, is part of the business.
Yep.
Let's go to a bit of a commercial break, and this is one of my favorite segments in the game. Each of you have 30 seconds to ad-lib a commercial for any product or service that you may imagine within the constraints of our blanket PG-13 rating.
You got it.
Yep.
Let me just grab a timer quickly. Starting with Gretchen. She's been somewhat neglected.
I'm doing this in character?
If you want to, you do not have to.
Okay. 30 seconds. All right. After a long day of fighting, you end up cut out and bruised and beaten down. Maybe some band-aids would be helpful to have around. We have them in all shapes, all sizes. Big ones for big gashes, little ones for just little nicks here and there. Buy more band-aids.
Just using a real brand name. That is bold. Okay.
I was going for bandages. I just accidentally used the real brand name.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure they won't possibly sue. George, you just won this match. You as a wrestler do not have to appear in the advertisement. It is just whatever the hell you want.
I, as the wrestler, do not have to appear in the advertisement. However, I really want to.
Go ahead.
Because
I'm
I
sure
really
you do.
want to. I don't know if I can do this in person in character, but I really just want a very high budget advertisement for buying stocks in gold and investments in character as George.
Timer starts when you do.
Okay. Beauty, elegance, eternity, and wealth. As your crown prince, I am beholden to all of these things. But should you wish to join me, all you must do is invest in an ancient and eternal mineral that has granted value and wealth for generations, for civilizations.
5,
Cycle.
4, 3, 2.
That's all I got.
Excellently done. Illy, what have you got?
All right, straight into it. John's Dino Nuggets, the most realistic Dino Nuggets on the market. Buy them freezer made. We even have your own make your own kit. Realistic head shapes, realistic wings, all your favorite dinosaurs in the most consumable format. Buy today, John's Dino Nuggets.
Absolute comedy gold. I love the idea that you can commission custom dino nuggets. That's just such a niche application, but I believe someone would legitimately do that.
Yep.
All right, I would like to do one as well, actually. Hit a railgun driver on your thirst. Immortal beer. Taste the undying. Very good. Very good, very good. So, having just lost the next match, Sam will not be booked until the match following this one. She has been bumped down to the losers bracket, where she will face the loser of the next match, which is, of course, George and Morgan. Now, backstage. I'm Stan Burcham with our next competitor, Morgan Birch, the prep school knockout. Morgan, do you have any comments on the frankly devastating win from Prince George over Dandazet Sam?
I can't believe this. They call me stuck up, and that's what I'm going to go out there and fight? Watch someone spends the whole match trash talking and then beats him with a baseball bat? No, couldn't be me.
Very good, very good. I would like you to roll cut promo for that, please.
Roll cut promo. Awesome.
You are already booked in a match against Prince George.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, do I just roll look for that?
You do roll plus look, yes.
Awesome.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
So on an 11, you may choose 2 of the list for cut promo, which I have here. Here we go. Make creative book you in a match. You're already booked in a match. That's not particularly relevant. Add a stipulation to a relevant match. They come out and respond to your promo or gain +1 heat with the subject of your promo. So you can add a stipulation. You could compel George to respond, or you can just gain heat.
I want to gain heat. I don't really have a lot of heat with George.
Do you not?
I only have
Interesting.
1.
Ooh, yeah, definitely
Wow.
pump that up a little bit.
Awesome.
So, I imagine George wouldn't necessarily... I don't think we would have the time to set up all the pyro again to do another entrance this quickly. So I'm going to make the decision that George is still in the ring as Morgan's music hit. And Morgan, what does that sound like? Walk us through your entrance.
So it's the entrance. Morgan comes out. It's this about 5'10", kind of angry looking younger girl. She's beat up, plenty of scars and bruises. She's got a cold, mean look with this one. Very, very focused, but very kind of like cocky, not really listening to the crowd. Being the music's blaring, very very like graduational themes, very, very much matching this prep school uniform that she's still wearing. She's still wearing after all these years of wrestling. That's cut and broken down with all sorts of re-sewed spots, and the patch has been ripped off a million times and put back together. And as she comes to the ring, she's just kind of frustrated. She thinks the bat was not the way to go. She's much more used to these like big hardcore moments, and immediately rolls into the ring. Mm-hmm. I just think
the bat is a hardcore.
I'm not really opposed to the bat. I'm opposed to how she used the bat.
Right, you want it. You want more.
Ladies and gentlemen, prep school Morgan, fresh out of graduation, but not done with schooling. For she is here to school George.
I'm gonna when I get down to ringside, I'm gonna roll in and straight nose to nose with George as quick as I can.
You're just gonna mean mug her.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. But you sure got that right, Tom. It seems like Morgan Birch is absolutely pissed at the result of the last match, and it seems like she wants to make an example out of Prince George here tonight. Because of your absolutely stonking promo, I am going to book you to start the control of this match.
Awesome.
The bell rings and the floor is yours.
I'm gonna go just straight for like a good hit. Just try to get one good hit and then whip them off the rope. Whip them off the ropes and try to, after the hit, and go for a like leg takedown, like with my legs, like a Russian sweep. Drop them onto the ground.
Okay, so a Irish whip is a wrestling move in which one wrestler gets thrown across the ring, often into the ropes. As I understand, you want her to bounce off the ropes, move forward into the center of the ring into a Russian leg sweep?
And do a Russian leg sweep. Take the legs out, falls flat, stomach first.
Very good. Roll wrestling for that takedown, please.
Awesome.
Oh!
Ooh.
Yeah, that is suboptimal.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Damn.
I feel like I'm gonna.
So on a botch, let's see here. I'm gonna say that was athletic feat. Where did it go? Magic. Wrestling move, blah. Ah, there it is. On a botch, you botch the spot. Your opponent describes how they counter you or save from disaster and takes control of the match.
Absolutely. I think the second you try to throw George against the ropes, she is going to recover, come at you full force, jump in the air, and fully send like a drop kick directly to your center.
Oh,
Oof.
countering the
Damn.
level change for the leg sweep, Prince George absolutely hammering in a drop kick. Well, I mean, of course, roll wrestling and see how that actually.
Of
Actually
course,
works.
I would love to. I'm so good at that. Yeah.
God, we do have bonus dice. I hasten to.
Yeah, I'm gonna take one
We
of
have
them.
five,
We got
five
five of
bonus
those.
dice.
I want to
Yeah.
take one of them.
All right, chuck it in.
Where's my roll 20 d6? Get it in there. All right, that brings me up to a 9. I'll take it.
All right, that is just a straight success. You keep their attention, choose whether to hand control the match to your opponent and take one momentum, or retain control of the match.
I am going to pass control back and take the momentum.
Okay.
I think that I am able to get this heavy kick on Morgan and bring her to the ground, and I'm able to kind of like stand up and just sort of have like foot on her chest and bat pointed down to her neck, just like, you would dare challenge me.
Would you call this a pinning predicament?
Ooh.
As long as both
I mean-
shoulders are on the ground, that is technically a pin. Did you just flip me off?
Yes, but I will.
Me?
No, I'm thinking.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, it is a pinning predicament. However, I will say it is probably not one that is particularly difficult to get out of.
No, absolutely. You haven't been booked as the winner yet.
Nope.
Morgan will be kicking out of this. However, I think it's fair to call it a pinning predicament.
Mm-hmm.
So you take this, you send this absolutely rocket of a drop kick into Morgan's chest. She goes flying back onto the mat, stunned, lands flat on her back. You put your foot on your chest, on her chest, and in the most disrespectful pin in wrestling. Once again, the crowd is absolutely screaming for your head. They hate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, an absolute turnaround, an absolute reversal. As instead of being the one starring the fight, it has now been flipped around on Morgan. Perhaps this king, this prince, has more to school Morgan about.
Perhaps indeed. Once again, the ref slides in, starts hammering the mat. 1, 2. But at 2.8, Morgan kicks out and takes control of the match.
So I figure when I kick out, since there's only one foot on my chest, I'm going to kick out, and that's going to go towards me, and I'm going to grab the ankle and try to stand up out of it while still holding.
Ankle lock!
Yes. While still holding George's ankle and try to stand up with the ankle and try to take a hold and slow the match down and get to the real wrestling, the part that I think I could beat George in.
Very, very good. Where would you like to go with this? Is it the end of your sequence, or would you like to keep going? You have the ankle lock. You could just try to force the tap.
Yeah, let's just work on taking the legs out. I just got hit with a big drop kick. I'm going to crank on that ankle, try to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Very good. This is still early doors, so I'm not sure I would book you to win that easily, especially against George, who just came off of a win. So she's got a little bit of momentum going. But this is still very much some pressure that your ankle and knee are under, George. This is a very uncomfortable position for you, even if it is performance. Are you ceding control?
Yes.
Very good. Take one momentum.
Awesome.
So remind me exactly the position that I am in.
You
So
would be
are
on
in
your
what is
stomach.
called ankle lock.
All right.
You are on your stomach with either leg in the air, and Morgan has control of your foot and is using that as leverage against your ankle and your knee joints. It is very, very classic Kurt Angle technician, painful stuff. It isn't impossible to reverse out of, or, I mean, you could just up kick her in the face if you had to.
That's probably what I'd go for.
Yeah, that does sound like what you would
George
do.
is not a technical wrestler. Just kick her.
Okay, so we've got a. You still have narrative control. You can keep this going as long as you want to. So you up kick her in the face. Morgan staggers back, drops the ankle lock.
I think at that point, in yet another act of defiance, George is going to tear forward in yet another attempt of her divine right.
Ooh, going for the signature already.
Ooh.
Okay. I will allow you to roll wrestling for this.
Roll I'm
What
so
is
good
going
at.
on tonight?
That's a 6. What's going on is that I'm bad at wrestling.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
even mechanically.
I'm glad there's at least an explanation for this. We do
I have a
still have
-2
4
to
bonus
body.
die
We're good.
and various others. Or you can just take the botch.
I actually fully intended this to be botch anyways.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't think that I win like that.
You may also...
Ooh.
I like this conversation between wrestlers. This feels very much like a conversation you would have had backstage at the time. So feel free to share ideas with each other live. It is a storytelling more than competition. So on a botch, you botch the spot. Your opponent describes how they counter you or save from disaster and takes control of the match.
Awesome.
I
Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
if you want like an actual conversation of how I kind of want this match to go,
Mm-hmm.
I want George to lose this one.
Oh.
However, I want it to be under circumstances that she kind of doesn't accept it as a loss.
Fascinating. Okay. And now we've gotten into the meat of what makes wrestling so fun, folks.
Ooh.
I have a question.
Sure.
Go ahead.
The bats are all still around, and this match isn't a no DQ, right?
No, this is a
that was
standard
never
one fall.
established.
It was never established. There is no stipulation to this match. It is a standard one fall DQ match.
No, I don't have my bat.
Okay.
Damn.
No bat.
Shoot. I was
I'm just
going
curious.
to. This is like the most illegal thing in the world to do, but I was gonna like use the bat to try to prevent the ref from hitting
Well-
the mat the third time.
You say that, but interfering with referees is very much a part of professional wrestling, and you do have someone at ringside who could distract the ref for you.
Sure.
That could be your out. You could get disqualified.
Yeah.
I like
Not-
that.
Okay, I'm going to book Morgan Birch to win by DQ, and I'm just going to let the two of you role play that in real time. So, Morgan, you've just sold this stonking up kick from George. You're reeling, you're grabbing at your nose, you're fine. But you drop the ankle lock. She gets back up, and how do you end up thrown out of this match?
So I think in this scenario I should probably she's going for the finisher on me. I should stop that, start getting my own offense in, start showing like taking over a little bit before, say, your valet interferes and costs the match, so that I end up winning by DQ. That way,
More Murphy's Law.
Keep going.
Okay, that way I end up coming out still looking strong. That still gives you a good reason for your DQ to have happened, because now it makes you look like you were a little nervous, but you still like, oh, I didn't lose. I didn't lose.
Exactly.
And so I see it as you're going in, it's like a gut punch, right? Like an uppercut.
That is correct. The divine right is a straight shot to the sternum.
Yes.
I think I take the sidestep and just hard kick back into your sternum, and knock you down, and then just kind of start taking some cheap shots of you while you're on the ground. I'm a bit frustrated now. Everything I've tried hasn't worked. Some just stiff kicks to you while you're on the ground.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then
Understandably incensed, he's really giving you the business. He's like, "What are you doing? This is not clean wrestling. This is break it up. No, he's not actually DQing you because this isn't out of the realm of the rules of professional wrestling. But the ref is definitely now active and will be paying much closer attention. So if it would almost certainly be George, but if one of you is caught doing something that would be a DQ, or perhaps a count out, as it seems like we've set up Harold, for that is his name,
That is his name.
interfering. Yes, the Herald is also named Harold in a wonderful piece of writing.
I'm so good at writing. I'm so good.
It seems like
characters.
I'm going to say that Harold has made an attempt to distract the referee, and he slides the bat in under the bottom rope to George. And while the ref is distracted, and after all of these cheap shots, George, how can you resist getting in a shot of your own?
I come into the ring with exactly one intention every time, and that is to make my opponent kneel. As the ref is distracted and Harold hands me a bat, I am going to take a harsh swing directly to Morgan's knees to bring her down.
As you do that, a figure in a black coat runs out from backstage and tackles Harold on the outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is this? A valet getting tackled.
She tears the
And
coat
is that
off,
a
and it is in fact Kitty herself with the title, and she absolutely tears into George, and it's just like, this is not what this tournament is about. If you want this title, you're gonna have to beat me clean, and you're gonna have to beat her clean to get to it. Ref, disqualify this woman. And the referee turns around. He sees the bat in your hand and Morgan rolling on the ring in pain. He throws up the X. The match is over. No contest. And Morgan moves on by technicality.
The immortal herself coming
The
into
immortal
embrace
herself.
us with all this dishonorable wrestling occurring.
Spearing Harold at ringside. I assume he's okay. Well, out of curiosity, was Harold a trained wrestler or was Harold just a dude?
You know.
That's fine. It's not like AEW is actively being sued for something like that.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I mean, yeah.
Right. So, the ref has ruled the match a no contest in favor of Gretchen, or DQ in favor of Gretchen. Gretchen will move on to face the winner of the next match, the rematch, as it happens, between Sam and George.
So, I just want to do a little character role play while I'm here.
Absolutely. I will never say no to that.
Yeah, so I just won the match by DQ. I'm holding my gut in my legs, kind of selling hard because I just ate a baseball bat pretty hard.
That's a hard shot for anybody.
Yeah, it's a hard shot for anyone, even someone who's done it a million times. And so I'm sitting there, refs holding my hand up, and I'm kind of coming to with what just happened. And I look down, almost starstruck at Kitty Vicious ringside. Kind of nervous at such a legend of the hardcore there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I notice, I try to stop selling. I mean, I'm still selling. I'm still hurt. I still kind of, but I'm trying to act like it's not hurting now.
Right. I would say Kitty comes up ringside and kind of claps you on the shoulder giving you a kind of, you did all right, kid. I saw what happened. In reality, she's just kind of leaning in and it's like, did she actually tag you? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm great.
You're good?
I'm good.
All right. And she just claps you on the
Try that.
shoulder, steps back off the apron and nods and disappears backstage. Right.
Yeah.
Now that's some wrestling. That's what I wanted. Ooh, I love it.
Very
Ooh,
nice.
I love it. We got some nasty heel work. We got a DQ. Stuff's going down on the apron. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, I would like to have a camera following George at this juncture. I think specifically that the hard cam would be trained on her reaction to this robbery of what was her win. That has to just,
I could
that's
be
gotta-
mad at Morgan. I could be mad at the audience pretending they hate me. I could be mad at the ref for calling a DQ. I could be mad at Harold for handing me a bat in a match where I shouldn't have had one. I could be mad at many people.
Would you like to be saying this in character?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. Okay.
None of this is
I
in
was
character.
loving it.
But none of this is in character, but this narration is just, the later when your friend is telling you about this match, this is how they'll narrate it.
Mm-hmm. You know me so well.
George will pick up their head and instead of staring at anyone else, will have a vicious glare locked on the immortal as she is leaving, and just. She does not have a mic on her, but the camera can clearly see her mouthing the word vicious.
Very good.
And
Very good
I
indeed.
am going to take this moment to say that previously my want on my character sheet had simply just been to make an opponent kneel. Won the previous match with Sam, more or less fulfilled that. But more importantly, I think motivation has changed to dethrone Vicious.
Dethrone the immortal herself. A lofty goal, some might say, but certainly one worth it. Certainly one that may not be out of the realm of possibility for George. Very good. Very good. Very good indeed. Let's see here. Okay, I like where this is going, and I do think a rematch between Sam and George will be pretty interesting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take just a brief second to, in kayfabe, kind of break up the action a little bit, make it more entertaining. But in reality, it's definitely because most of the talent needs a couple of seconds to ice their various bruises. So I do think that yes, a good 10-minute or so break would be ideal.
Excellent,
Okay.
excellent. You guys are doing great. I've never heard this thing before, and I am highly entertained.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
guys, we'll
Thank
be
you.
back in 10. Maybe you can refresh your bank accounts. Bye. All right, guys, we're back with some more wrestling mayhem. Let's see
Hell
where
yeah.
this goes. This is the final run here, guys. So let's get
Yep.
this going.
Home straight. Let's get this. Let's escalate this. Not the Nine Lives Wrestling music sting comes back over on TV, and our camera cuts to a shot of Dandazette Sam. She has an ice pack on one of her shoulders, and she is kneeling, not necessarily kneeling, but she is sitting backstage in the locker room as our announcer Stan, who is just an absolute paper cutout of a man, approaches and just goes, Sam, have you been following the matches so far? Are you aware that you will be facing George a second time?
Yes, and I'm quite glad for that.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Because this time, I'm sure I'll see a lot of more wrestling from our good friend George. Prince George, rather than Street Fighter George with the bat.
Interesting. Would you care to elaborate on that? What are you looking to see from your opponent this time around?
I like to see throws, punches, sweeps, whips, any of that, any of type of whatever style of wrestling they follow, and I'll play around it, and whether I win or lose, I'll actually be able to wrestle, not get beat up with a stick of wood.
Are you suggesting that the current IWA top contender may not actually have wrestling chops at all, but instead is dependent on underhanded tactics and is dependent on her herald to get her matches done?
That, yes, that, or just scared to show herself off.
Ooh. Well, that's certainly fighting words, and I, as creative, would like you to roll cut promo.
All right, cut promo. What would that be? All
That
right,
is 2d6 plus your look.
9.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I would like you to just sort of... We'll get to what that roll gets you in just a second, but I would like you to actually give it a little beef. Call out George directly, if you will. You've got the mic, you're staring down the barrel. What do you say to your opponent?
George, please, fill my request this time.
Very good. Okay, so you rolled a 9?
Yes.
Very good. You have their attention. Pick one. Make creative book you in a match. You're already booked, so this isn't strictly helpful at all.
Mhm.
Add a stipulation to the relevant match. They come out to respond or gain +1 heat.
Ooh, stipulations. Okay, I gotta figure out what stipulation options I have.
Given that this is a one-shot, I'm fully going to allow you to just say whatever you want.
I'm just going to say no stipulations because I completely forgot about the stipulations we had.
Okay. Okay. You still got to choose one.
Okay, well, I'm looking then.
No, not necessarily a
You could-
stipulation, but you can choose for George to respond, or you may choose +1 heat.
George to respond then.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
So, George, you've just been called out. How do you respond to this? Our camera's cut to Tom, who is just standing outside of George's trailer. You can hear the sounds of objects being thrown inside. Tom takes a couple of nervous steps and knocks on the door.
I'm not a real wrestler. Not real wrestling. I'll show her. I'll show all of them. They
So-
want me to fight fair? Then I'll win this crown fair.
Very good. So, should I take it that you understand what Sam is implying? You take offense to this?
Of course I take offense to it. Anyone who denies my ability to win is denying my right to the throne.
Data Zed Sam is famously a very technical wrestler. Do you think you'll be able to outperform her in the ring?
Technique might be powerful, but I have something more. I have divinity. I have destiny.
Well, there you have it. It looks like one hell of a slubber knocker being booked tonight. And with that, I think we're going to cut to the ring. Now, I would like this to be a somewhat quicker match, if that's
Alright,
okay with the both of you, because I think we're very much building towards our finale here, and I think this isn't necessarily a match that the audience is paying huge attention to, as they are for the implications for the next match, because whoever wins this one gets to go against Morgan again, and then inevitably against me. So
Alright.
if it ends up going longer, that's okay. Serve the narrative. So, which of the two? I'm going to, because of that absolute bombshell of a promo, I'm going to start Sam. I'm going to start Sam with control of this match, and I'd like you to enter first. Does your entrance change at all?
Yes, a little bit.
Oh, okay, fascinating. Tell me more.
This time she really just sort of jazz music again. Maybe like just different song, different set.
Mm-hmm.
This time she has no tear off pants, and let's say no hat, just her coat. As she walks up to the stage and sort of takes it off, folds it, and sets it on the ground, and hops right in.
Very good. George, you're up next.
I think George's intro has also changed. Two of Murphy's Laws, great.
Wait, really? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh god.
Okay. No, hang on. 50-50 chance. This could be fine. Carry on. I will roll.
Sure. George's, I think the entrance music is still the same, the pyro is still the same, but kind of the pomp and circumstance of things has kind of been dropped. No fur, no gold, no jewels. In sort of this insistence on real wrestling. And so she is going to come out just in her fighting attire and not much more.
Okay, ready. I do want to remind you two that you both have roll moves where I understand that Sam is a babyface and George is very obviously a heel.
Yes.
This is not something you need to pursue at the moment, but should you do something that I will ask you to roll if I believe it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything either of you would like to do before the match begins properly? You have about 20 to 30 seconds.
Nothing in
I thought this was about wrestling, not presenting. George is quiet.
Oh, she's angry. I like this. 4 dice for killing.
Much
Okay.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of this. Sorry. Continue.
Sorry.
Okay, what's happening?
Oh, we got more. We got more donations.
Ah, nice.
Yes, I have 4 more dice in my back pocket here. This is going to be one hell of a boss fight. So you two are just ready to slug it out. Alrighty then. With that, the bell rings, and We are rolling. I am going to start. I know I said I'll start Sam in control, but thinking about it narratively, I think George would be just mad enough to take the first shot.
I'm all right with
Absolutely.
that.
Okay. Start us off.
George is going to immediately rush forward and go for a sweep to the legs and attempt to get Sam onto the ground.
Okay.
All right.
Georgia out of the
Going for
gate
the
with a
quick takedown.
wrestling move. The attitudes have shifted in this amongst these two.
And Sam is smiling, seeing it.
Stanley's in it. It really looks like Sam has managed to get under Prince George's skin.
All right.
All right. You cede control. Or oh no, you're rolling rest. Oh my God, woman!
Too much.
We
part
do
of
still
body
have
minus
4
2?
bonus dice.
No, screw it. I'm bad at this.
Okay, so you. Okay, you cede control immediately. Sam, how does this go wrong for George and so right for you? She's going for a leg sweep. You could just not be there. You could see this coming a mile away and just step aside and let her eat shit on the canvas.
I think Sam is going to try and let the sweep guide her into a sort of leg grab.
Okay, so you're going to take the sweep and counter into a leg lock?
Yes.
Interesting. I like it. I like it a lot.
So I would roll athletics for that, right? Body? Or is it wrestling? Or
I'm
body
just
or
going
work?
to let that happen, and you still
Okay,
have
let it
narrative
happen.
control, so you can keep the sequence going as long as you feel it needs to.
All right.
Your whole promo at the moment is your whole platform is on the basis that George doesn't know how to properly wrestle, and now that you've got her in a position where she would need to wrestle to escape, I think you should really push your advantage here and make a
Alright.
point.
I'm going
So
to
you've
try
got the
and
leg locked.
do a double leg takedown.
Ooh, okay.
Which is essentially
So,
just
right.
with both arms wrapped around them, just sort of driving them out, just like sort of
Kind of
yank down.
lift and drop. Yep, I am familiar. I've
Okay.
been on the wrong side of several of them.
Explaining it for the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. If you know what you're doing, please do explain to the audience.
I am using this from a website. If you could explain it better, please. Thank you.
Okay, so as I'm understanding, George is probably going for a takedown, but I don't think in character she particularly knows what she's doing. So you would be able to defend, maybe just step out of range a little bit, and then shoot in for the double leg. You pick her up and George. George is now flat on her back, and you still have leg control. You could sink in submissions. You have all sorts of options right now. But you please stop shaking camera. Thank you.
Huh? Okay. I think I shall. Now with her on the ground, I'm going to try and shift the grab.
Mm-hmm.
How would I shift the grab? Ooh.
Don't get yourself too tangled up in detail. Just tell me what it is you want to accomplish. Like, narratively, how does this look?
Essentially grab her by the arm and pick her up from the ground.
Oh,
into
okay.
Another throw.
Oh. Oh. Okay. So this is what we could call an arm drag takedown, which I'm going to send you a clip of that real quick because it is a absolute staple in the professional wrestling scene.
Arm drag, yes.
Very
So the
classic
idea
Alicia.
being you would, yeah. Let's
Where-
see. Where's a good short? This looks reasonable. Yeah. So I'm going to quickly send that to you. This is roughly what I'm imagining you've just done.
Okay, just waiting for it to load.
Yep.
Yes.
Very good. So you pick her back up, you take the arm drag, Kitty? No. George goes flying once again, lands hard on her back in a thunderous back bump. Stan leans into his microphone and says, well, Sam seems to be making up for her performance in the last match. It seems like once weapons are out of the picture, that Sam is truly in her element.
Oh yeah. Anytime Sam has the chance to actually wrestle and not just swing bats around, she's out there to dazzle.
That's right. She made it this far in the tournament for a reason, and she is proving that that was no fluke. You still have narrative control unless you would like to cede it.
I would like to see it by stepping back and doing a short bow. Your
Ooh,
turn.
cocky.
She
I like
said.
it. Take one momentum.
A nice taunt from Sam. She's giving George another chance to wrestle, even though she doesn't think she has it in her.
While Sam is bowing, George is going to try to use that as an advantage to pin her down to the mat, since like that taunt is putting her in like a clearly vulnerable position.
Okay.
Like a
So you're just
schoolboy.
going for... Yeah.
Scoops the neck, rolls her over to the back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks
Oh,
like George isn't quite out of this match just yet. You still have narrative control, and I'm only making you roll for the big moment. So if you're setting up for something, you can just keep going. Bear in mind, this woman has spent the last 30, 45 minutes or so humiliating you on the mic. If you don't make a point, it might be a bad look.
If this is my only opening, I have to go for a divine right. Call it the end.
Ooh,
Ooh.
going straight for the divine right. Ooh,
No.
Stan might be in trouble.
No,
here.
no. I take that back.
Ooh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my
See,
attention.
I forgot that we're supposed to be doing real wrestling, not whatever I've apparently been up to this whole time.
Hmm.
What's Sam's finishing move?
Ooh, what
Ooh,
is
this is
Sam's
my-
finishing move?
This is a really nice one. I guess
Is
sort
it?
of. She does an arm grab,
Uh-huh.
throws them behind her. It's just a simple arm grab. Throws them behind them on their back, and then falls up with a slam down with an elbow drop. A very quick throw onto the back, and then the elbow drop right down their open chest.
Okay. I'm imagining kind of a pop-up power bomb into the elbow drop, where you just kind of up, down, and then down again.
Right.
The whole idea was it's very quick and
Oh,
fast.
absolutely,
Like, a
it
quick
is.
throw on the back and almost in a very fluid motion is she's already doing the elbow drop as they're just barely on the ground.
Clean. I like it.
George is going to attempt to beat Sam with her own finisher.
Ah.
All right.
Ooh.
I would actually like you to roll this at disadvantage.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Ooh. Oh,
Yay!
hello.
Ooh.
That's a 4.
That is a 4.
Oh.
That is a botch once again. So,
Sam must have really upset George if she's going for Sam's own finisher against her.
As much as George really tries to deny it, Sam has gotten under her skin, and it seems like now she has the opportunity for the pinning predicament. Sam, I am giving you control back, and I am booking you to win off of this.
All right. I'm figuring out where I want to do how I want to set this up.
Mm-hmm. You could
She's
reverse
going
it
for the arm
into
grab.
your own finisher.
So, smiling the whole time since the very first move George attempted.
Mm-hmm.
When her left arm is grabbed, she instead grabs with her other arm
Okay.
and is going to follow up into the finisher.
Okay. And as smooth as anything, Sam counters into
gotta
her
roll
own
for this.
finisher. You do have to roll for this.
All right, let's see.
We do still have 4 bonus die. Oh my god,
11.
never mind.
Like lightning.
Like
As her arm is grabbed, she immediately grabs back, throwing George, I believe the smaller individual, over her back, immediately twisting into that elbow, leaving a resounding thud as she lands on top of George.
That's kick-ass. Gain +1 audience as well. The crowd pops hard when George hits the ground. They have been waiting for this. The ref slides in. 1, 2, 3. George has just been pinned for the first time tonight. And Sam moves into the finals.
It's okay for
against
Sam to give some
Morgan
parting words.
By all means.
You have great potential, George.
Oh, that's...
I hope to see more. I truly enjoy it.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. There was another Murphy's Law. Hold on.
It
Ooh,
was.
uh-oh.
let's see.
Both were safe.
Okay.
Ah, dang.
Aw, dang.
The most chaotic thing. Absolutely nothing.
It is. And totally not because I couldn't think of 20 things.
Oh, and would be, after saying that, is it possible for Sam to also help up George?
It is possible. George, do you accept this?
PG-13. Hell no.
You're allowed 1.
I'm good.
Okay. Right, so George
Alright.
does not accept the help. Do you simply walk away?
I think George would like bat the hand away in anger and just like would start to leave, but is still screaming to the crowd that this is unfair and that she has not earned this loss.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I would like you.
Who all you want?
No. I want this to be a roll somehow, but I can't think of anything to justify. No, I think that's just the end of that segment.
Mhm.
All right.
So, moving backstage with our man on the scene, Tom. Well, Morgan, it looks like you'll be facing, in a shocking upset, Dandazet Sam in the finals of the Cataclysm tournament. How does it feel knowing that you are one step closer to that beautiful, beautiful belt?
One step closer to the belt. That's all that matters. Even if I can't win that belt, I just need to win this match, prove I'm supposed to be here. Sam, I'm excited. I'm excited for a chance at you. Some real graps. I might be seen as just some garbage backyard wrestler, but I can truthfully roll with the best of them. and I'm just more than thrilled that I don't have to fight George again. It's gonna be a long time till I walk completely correctly after such a cheap shot.
Ooh, still selling it. I appreciate that. Go ahead and roll cut promo for me, please.
Ooh.
Woohoo!
10.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
What happens on a 10? Where the hell did it go? There we go. On a 10, you connect with the audience. Pick 2. Make creative book you in a match. You're already booked. It doesn't matter. Add a stipulation. They come out to respond or gain +1 heat.
1 heat would take me to max with Sam, so I'm going to take the 1 heat for one of mine.
Very good.
And I just want to give Sam a chance to respond with the other one, because I kind of don't want any stipulations. I want a normal match with Sam.
Interesting. So the camera pans out back to the ring. On the Tron, we can see the footage of Morgan in the locker room, cutting her promo. Sam is still in the ring, and she sees this. Someone hands you a microphone to respond.
Backyard wrestler? Still a wrestler. Let's have some fun, Morgan.
Very much living up to your babyface role. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Right. So let's make this interesting.
Ooh.
Ooh.
How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? No, I'll leave it as is. Yeah, I'll leave it as is. All right. So after a quick ad break, we don't have to do that whole thing again. We are back in the ring. Morgan and Sam standing across from each other for the shot at the immortal herself, Katie Vicious, for the inaugural 9 Lives Wrestling Ultimate Championship belt. We are here live at ringside with Prince George on commentary. George, what do you make of the match in front of you?
The match before me is a farce.
I beg your pardon?
I say the match before me is a farce. I am the one meant to be in the ring right now.
Well, you're certainly entitled to that opinion. So, you're both in the ring. The bell is rung. Let's have some fun.
Let's go.
Awesome.
I think
Who starts?
that is a good question. I think that Sam is on a bit of a hot streak at the moment. So, I'm going to say that you start.
Alrighty. I think I'm going to try and move in for a gut wrench.
All right,
Ooh.
classic.
That would be a body, right?
It would be if you're, again, I'm only making you roll for the last item in the sequence. If that's all you want to do, if you're not setting up for something, you can.
Actually, I would be
just
setting
do
up
rest
for
of
like
the
a
move.
suplex, essentially, as well.
Okay, so you lock up, collar and elbow, you get the gut wrench, and you send it into a German. Is that right?
Is there any other suplexes that could be done?
Oh, there's loads.
You do-
There's Snapdragon suplex, Fisherman suplex, half and half suplex, belly to belly suplex,
Let's do
belly to
another
back suplex. Another German?
Since every other fight I've had, I've basically started off with the German.
It does seem
Keep
to
it-
be a good solid signature. I just went full autism on you there. I apologize.
No
Anyway,
problem.
you started out with a German suplex. Is that your... All right, roll me wrestling, and let's see how this
Alrighty.
goes.
Botch.
Oof.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's
Morgan, you get a rare botch from Sam on her signature move, no less. Usually she can do these in her sleep. It's rare to see her To see her slip must be nerves getting to her. What do you make of this, George?
It would make sense. Someone so focused on presentation would start slipping when the heat is really on.
Spicy, I love it. All right, Morgan, you have control.
So goes for the suplex, and I, fresh out of the gate, immediately kick my leg onto the inside of Sam's leg to stop the suplex, and then I just slap the hands and hit the switch into my own German to give it right back.
Ooh, countered into a reversal.
Style.
Very spicy. Okay. Roll that, and we'll see how it goes. Very good. You maintain control of the match.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Alright.
With the German hit, I go and try to do a I go and reach around and try to get a grip around Sam's waist again, and
Okay, waist lock.
all I'm trying to, and while Sam's still on the ground and I'm standing, because how I see it is I got to start with some real wrestling, and the first thing I know about real wrestling are suplexes and gut wrenches. So I'm going to try to pick up for a gut wrench suplex and keep the suplex train going.
Ooh, very good. Potentially a 3 amigos if we play this right. Roll it. Ooh, very good.
During this whole sequence, Sam is smiling the whole time.
Terrifying. I love it. You may either gain 1 momentum. Actually, no, you rolled a 10. The crowd pops as you nail the spot, retain control of the match, and gain +1 momentum.
Awesome. As Sam hits the ground, I'm going to scurry over and take back control again and kick my legs out and try to take a Fujiwara arm bar on the back and try to go into go for a hold and start getting the groundwork moving in this straight wrestling match.
Morgan Birch meeting Sam exactly where her expertise is. Sliding in this Fujiwara nice and tight. This could be a short match, folks.
Ooh. I like that.
Do I roll for that one again?
If you want to, at any point you are allowed to just cede control narratively.
Okay. Cool. I want to cede control because I want Sam to wrestle me out of this.
All right.
I want to do some groundwork, some grappling.
Take +1 momentum. Sam, how do you get out of this?
So I've got one arm in a sort of that arm bar.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You're on your chest, and your arm is out. Your right arm is out to the side, and I'm sitting on your shoulder. My shoulders basically to your shoulders, cranking that arm backwards. So my head is near your head, but I'm looking up and you're looking down.
All right, so my left arm is still open.
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to. Sam is going to try and twist her body around and sort of get with a headlock while her right arm is being grabbed. Like sort of wrap the left arm around and get the headlock in.
Up and over. Yeah.
You thread the legs, get the rotation in, and just manage to hook your free arm around the neck of Morgan Birch. You still have control. You may keep going.
Now, so sort of this sort of weird grab scenario where my right arm is sort of grabbed by Morgan, but I have Morgan in a headlock. I think I'm going to just try and use my... Sam's going to try and push her body weight into Morgan to get her on the ground now.
Okay.
Solid grab. Both just rolling on the ground essentially again. All right. So I like to roll for that, which would then, and if it works, I Either way, it
We've got
leads
two
into
more-
Morgan's
Two
turn.
more of that. Okay, Morgan, do you resist this at all?
I'm gonna let it follow through. We wanted a good wrestling match. I want to have some trade back and forth on the ground for a little bit. We got a
All
little bit of a
right.
suplex trade going in. Let's show that we know how to wrestle.
Ooh.
Yep. Oh no. I'm gonna just carry on. Don't mind me.
Okay. So now, I guess you're in control now. We're both on the ground.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
we just got 2 Murphy's Law donations.
Ooh.
One of them was
Oh.
safe.
The other?
The other, somewhere in the depths of the arena, an electrical fault sparks. No one notices it as we're all too busy running the show, but the sparks keep building. And wouldn't you know it, someone left their running notes right under that short.
Ah. Oh boy.
Oh.
We will come back to that in due time.
Oh no. Awesome. So we're both on the ground. You kind of have my head. I'm gonna the second I give up a little bit of control and you get some head. I try to slip out
Excuse me.
and go for the gut, like slip my head out of the hold. Go
Okay.
and try to retake the waist. Um, yeah, retake the waist and try to just do a very short from standing suplex and try to take control back over that way.
All right, roll
Just a
it.
straight, very short German.
Short German.
Ooh.
Love it.
Okay.
That is
botched
a
it.
botch. We do still have 4 bonus dice.
Mm-hmm. No, that would take 3 of the 4.
Yeah, probably would. All right. And George does have the opportunity to put you over on commentary. So far, it is a scathing silence.
I don't much care to participate in the commentary of a match that shouldn't exist. I think it's beneath me. I think it should be beneath 9LW, but, on that we differ.
Yeah, okay. So that is a botch. Sam, you take control back of this match.
Alrighty. Ooh. Botched gut wrench. I think I'm gonna try and intercept this with an arm drag.
Ooh.
Very good.
Ooh.
Very good. How long have we been live? Okay, we've got a little bit more to go.
Again, follow up with a throw to the ground. Well, actually, I think right now we're sort of on the ground, so I'm just gonna sort of transition again. Arm drag up to the standing position, and I think. Ooh. I'm gonna try a fireman's carry.
Okay.
Ooh.
Into a fireman's carry is what I would consider a transitional move, where it's a bit
Okay.
like a double underhook or an electric chair, where it's not necessarily a move in itself, but it's a setup for other moves.
All right.
So the fireman's carry, for those of you playing along at home, is where you have someone supine across both of your shoulders.
What is it called? There's a certain move where there's like a sort of wrestling move where that fireman's carry is a transition to sort of. I'm trying to
Countless.
remember.
Could you be thinking of the F5 perhaps?
Have you played Guilty Gear?
I've played Strive, yes.
Temkin Buster.
Okay, so that... Ooh. I don't know what I would call that. Like a fireman carry spine buster kind of thing.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's not very That's not very classical wrestling, I think.
It's
never
very
mind.
classical
Spinebuster's
pro
fairly-
wrestling. Huh? Yeah, no, this is professional wrestling. We do that kind of thing all the time.
Ooh. Fireman's carry into a... Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Ooh. That's liked, then let's try it.
All right, roll it.
Alrighty.
This does seem a pretty
That
neck
would
and
be
neck
work
match.
or body.
Work or body, up to you.
I think I'll do work. With
Okay.
it for an
Wow.
11.
Oh!
These two are insane. You retain control and gain 1 momentum. Now,
Alright.
this is going a little bit long, and it seems like neither of you two are going to lose without outside interference. So,
Ooh.
narratively speaking, I think we need to book one of you to win. The thing is, I'm not sure who at the moment.
Hmm.
In the ring, do you two have a preference which of you should be booked for a win?
I'm good with anything. So far Morgan hasn't gotten a win besides the disqualify. And so far
That's
Sam
true.
is all enjoying herself, so the win or not, it doesn't matter for her. She's getting the rest of the
I kind of want to win because my want is about being like taken seriously as a wrestler, as a hardcore wrestler in general, and not just this like backyard wrestler kind of scenario. And I feel like beating somebody so classically would get me there. So like
Yeah.
on some level, really want the win here.
Yeah, that's
All right.
that's fair.
I
That's
will
good.
book you to win. Roll your finisher and describe to the viewing audience
let's
what
see.
that is.
Oh, awesome. So I take that spine buster and I get up and I look, and as Sam's coming at me again, I go to scoop under the head in between the legs, and I bring it up to my shoulder and I drive it down by my side, onto their back. It's an emerald flosion.
Okay.
Which and I can add them. Yeah, sick. I called it the Expel Flosion. It's like an emerald flosion, and I drive them down onto their side, so I'm in a sitting position at the end of it, and they're flat out on their back, ready for the pin.
Very good.
Ah, nice.
All right, roll it.
They did.
I rolled a 9.
Oh, they did. They rolled a 9. Excellent. On a 7 to 9, they make you work for it. Choose one. They stand up to your assault before going down. You both gain 1 momentum. Sacrifice your body and make it happen. Take an injury and you gain +1 heat with them.
Ooh.
I'm at max heat with Sam, and that doesn't really matter, but I do want to do that one anyways, because if I'm winning this and going to fight Kitty Vicious, I kind of want it to be really beat up for that.
All right.
Ah.
I kind of the like scars are what got me here and got me to this big moment. So I kind of want to take the injury just cause. And I'm a
Take the
hardcore wrestler.
injury. Interesting. Okay. Go ahead and mark that down on your sheet.
Awesome.
All right, we're getting into the end game here. Now that Sam is the winner of the 9LW Invitational Tournament, your winner... Wait, did I say Sam? No, that's not right. Your
That's not right at
winner
all.
by pinfall, Morgan Birch. And as the bell rings and as the ref raises your hand, the familiar music hits, and you see up the ramp with the belt. Where the hell did I put it? Here it is. Kitty walks down with a mic in hand. She just goes, "Well, finally a worthy contender for my shot at the immortal. But if you think that I'm going to make this easy on you, then you haven't been paying attention to where you are. This is 9 Lives Wrestling. Only the toughest make it to the top rung of this promotion. I earned my title of the Immortal, and tonight I'm going to see if you can earn it too. And I would like to add the stipulation cage match.
Ooh.
Took it right out of my mouth. I'm looking at my sheet right here. I can spend momentum to add stipulation. I was cage match.
No countouts, no DQ, no running away. You and me, cage match. Now.
All right.
Oh, it's starting right away.
No, I'm gonna roll that back. Actually, I think we need a second to breathe and just to set up. So, briefly montaging that, it is once again your turn to make an entrance.
Awesome. I think you introduced a cage match, a no DQ, and you're famous for that. I am famous for my hardcore backyard kind of antics scenario. So in the very short matter I have to go to the back and get ready to do my entrance again, I'm finding a metal trash can and scooping up anything I can find in the back to bring with me.
Very good.
I'm finding some kendo sticks laying around, a street sign for some reason.
Why
Why not? And I'm just filling this up with all sorts of plunder I can find in the back, just so we have something inside the cage with us.
All right. Now, as we're going into the final match of the night, I think this is where things are going to get absolutely nutty. So let's get started a little bit. Does your entrance change at all?
A little bit. I'm less cocky than before. I just won this wrestling match, and it's a lot in my head. But I'm also now going against the legend that very much had a big inspiration on me as a hardcore wrestler, and so I'm coming out almost 1,000-yard stare to the ring with the trash can behind my shoulder, when you could see 2 kendo sticks sticking out and a few other little things here and there. And I am
very good.
I am going and I am leaving. I'm setting the trash can in a neutral corner, and I'm going back to my corner, and I am almost kneeling in the ropes waiting.
Okay. As you approach the ring, you see that there are 2 tables already set up. Now,
Ooh.
9LW, either for budget reasons or whatever the fact, there is a bit of a gap between the ring and the out. There's about a 3-foot gap on the outside of where the cage is. So there is still a little bit of an outside. So it's ring, it's table, and then there's cage wall. Or
and no
there
roof?
will be once it's lowered. There isn't. There is a roof. Well,
There is a roof. Okay.
No, screw it. No roof. I like the idea of people.
No
parking
roof.
it.
Cool.
Need to keep that open-ended. Pun very much intended. And as you hang in the ropes, the familiar music hits. The theme of the Immortal herself. You've heard it a million times on TV. You've heard it even more in person, and it is just as heart-pounding as you remember. Her pyro goes off, and there she stands. And then the lights go out, the music stops, and everything goes quiet. And a new song begins, one that you are not particularly familiar with. And on the ramp, you see Kitty take the title, put it on the floor, and just look at it for a moment. Smoke is pooling around her from these hidden fog machines as a new low and ominous theme plays underneath her. She kneels in front of this title, and it almost looks like she says a prayer, but you know, you've worked with her long enough to realize that she is getting into her headspace of violence. And when she lifts her head again, the woman that mentored you, the woman that invited you to this event is gone, and in her place, you see the bloodthirsty eyes of the immortal. She raises the title, throws it at the ref, and screams. She dives
Alright.
into the ring, and the cage comes down. The bell rings. And I think this is a pretty good time to put both Illy and George on commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So-
George, are you excited to see how this turns out?
Not like it's going to matter. No one in this competition but me has any chance of taking down the immortal.
What an interesting thing to say.
Well, I think
that
it's
on
going to
some
be
might
fun
say.
to watch how this plays out.
So I'm going to say that as the reigning champion, Kitty starts with momentum first. I would say she goes into a lockup, just collar and elbow tie up, testing Morgan's strength easily to see where she is. And once that's established, she's going to immediately just go for this. She watched you fight Sam. I think she's going to see how you respond to another German.
Awesome.
So she's just going to get that in, bridge, wham, German suplex flat on the mat. And I am going to roll that as a start. Where's my sheet? There we go. I have bonus dice.
Oh no.
Okay, 2 might have been a bit overkill, but I'll take it.
Yep.
So I gain momentum and keep control. So as I have it locked in, I'd like to reach over your back and hook the arm and just sit out power slam, a la Riptide.
Ooh.
Very much a storming offense early doors, and I will cede control at that point.
Awesome. So Riptide, I'm starting face down on the mat, basically, and you're over me.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to so I'm going to push myself up and look up at you before just going for the double leg right while you're in front of me. And picking you, and not going and taking you down, but double leg picking you up and trying to spin it into a spine buster to regain momentum in my favor.
Morgan gets a two bonus dice. Very good.
Ooh,
I get
Someone
2.
is in favor.
Awesome.
to
So I'm
know.
gonna roll that. That's a 7. So
Okay. That is a success. You can either take 1 momentum or keep control.
Awesome. I drive you to the ground. I'm gonna stand up, and I'm gonna look over at that trash can, and I'm thinking about is this hardcore style of wrestling that I was inspired by you to do. And I go over and I take the first kendo stick out, and I just go for a swing while you're on the ground.
Good.
Really, yeah.
I am not going to resist that, actually. I'm just going to say that happens.
Awesome. I'm gonna take a few swings, and if you're just not resisting and taking it up, I'm gonna step back and be like, "Come on, fight back!" Just scream. I'm hotter than I've ever been. I've never been in this scenario this
Good.
deep
I love
before.
it. Once you step back, she stands up, and you realize once again just who you're in the ring with. This is a woman who has earned her title of the Immortal. And so while she may not have resisted, that doesn't mean that she wasn't, in her own way, still fully in control. She stands up, takes her own bag of items, and brings forth another kendo stick. She locks eyes and points at you, and the two of you are just going to hammer at each other back and forth a couple of times until I'm going to flip a coin, or more specifically roll a d6 to see which one of our kendo sticks breaks first. Would you like evens or odds?
Odds.
Odds it is. Ooh, it is a 1. Yours breaks first. Actually, no, that seems unfair. You picked the right one. So I'm going to say mine breaks first. But seeing as I still have narrative control at this point, I toss it out of the way, pick you up, and railgun driver into, just run over the ropes, railgun driver into the table on the outside of the ring.
Ooh.
At this point, somewhere deep in the arena, a singular smoke alarm starts to go off.
Oh God, I forgot.
Yeah, you did forget. I didn't. And I will cede control with you through the table.
Oh, awesome. So I'm laying there in the table, and I'm fighting. I'm coughing a little bit, and I'm fighting to my feet to get up. And are you down on the ground with me as well?
I wouldn't say down as much. The railgun driver, I would end up functionally sitting on top of you. So I think at this point, I would have extricated myself from the table and just start pounding on the cage wall.
Awesome,
Just
sweet,
frothing up the crowd.
awesome. I'm gonna kick up. I'm gonna show some resilience, and I'm gonna run directly into you and just bear splash into the wall, and then grab your hand and Irish whip you into the other side of the cage from one end of the, as far as I can throw you.
Very good, very good. I will just sell that. Go ahead.
Awesome. I'm going to when you hit the other side of the cage, I'm going to follow again and do another big hit. But this time I'm going to bear hug. And when you take the step back after hitting it, I'm going to try to suplex you on the ground just towards the pile of table that's left over. Something really uncomfortable to land on, really gross.
Extremely, especially with all of that bent metal. Let's see, do I have something to counter this with? Well, now, hang on, I should ask, do you cede control at this point, or are you going through with this?
I was wanting to go through with it. Suplex you, roll body.
Yeah,
roll
go
wrestling.
ahead. Roll wrestling. That is a success.
That's a success again.
You may take 1 momentum or keep control.
I'm gonna take momentum and give up control, but I'm going to kind of step up on the apron above you and start yelling at the crowd and being like, I can do it. This doesn't look very immortal to me. Just screaming, just belting out.
Very good, very good. As you do this, Kitty pulls herself up and just clotheslines your legs out from under you. Just full face bump onto the apron.
Oof. My face has been taking a beating.
It very much has. I think she would climb up back under the ropes and kind of tangle your head in them and just lean back. You know exactly what I'm describing. Leaning with the rope on your neck and just sort of just screaming the whole time, "Come on! You're supposed to challenge me! This is my successor! Earn it!"
Oof. Cool. That's cool. Is that control back to me then?
Not quite. Once
Okay.
I've had enough of that, I just kind of throw you to the side, and I think I'm going to go across the ring and start setting up some chairs.
Ooh. In or back?
In.
In? Cool.
I'm going to say that at some point, a pane of glass has been placed into the ring.
Oh, that's right where I want it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Are
I
you setting
will
it up
cede
in a
control.
corner?
I am, yes.
Awesome. I'm gonna as I come to, I'm looking over and I'm seeing you set up these chairs and laying the pane of glass on them. I'm assuming that correctly.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm just going to, just gonna run up, double hammer you in the back, kind of whip you around, and just kind of hit a few times. Try to knock you senseless just a little bit.
Okay, I'm reeling. I've taken a couple of hits.
And that's and then I'm going to away from the glass. I'm trying to try to get momentum. That's a big scary object. I need you to be a little more incapacitated for me to get
Yep.
near it. I'm gonna Irish whip you to the ropes and just go for the biggest fall into it lariat I can
Ooh.
muster out of me.
I will make you roll that, actually.
Awesome. It's a 9. I have
Good,
I have
all
2
right.
bonus dice.
If you want to, spend them if you got them.
The announcers do again?
Hmm?
The announcers.
Yes.
How does the sort of hype up change the outcome?
Right. So
mechanic work?
you and I'm going to say that both of you get this. Once per match,
Mhm.
you can use the move Put Over to change the dice roll result to the next highest tier. And to do that, you explain why what the move that wrestler just did is actually really cool.
All right. What's the move you're doing again?
It's just a big falling lariat. It's a clothesline, basically. Kitty's hitting the ropes and running back towards me, and as she makes contact with my arm, I'm just putting it across the chest and neck.
It's essentially punching someone with your bicep. It's a very
Yes,
kinetic move. Kitty does a full backflip to sell.
Ooh. I think that's
Lands flat on her back.
Sam seeing this. Ooh, despite all those injuries, she just keeps on moving.
Mhm.
Cool.
The
so-
pain carries her more than the carries her faster than Katie's own conviction.
Hmm.
So I rolled the bonus dice on that and got a 6. So that
Okay.
bumps me to the next level up, right?
Yes, it does.
And so I gain a momentum and keep control.
Yes, you do.
Awesome. Once Kitty's on the ground, on the ground, I'm gonna try to just full force her up onto my shoulders and start walking over the pane of glass. And I'm gonna try to walk around it and take on the shoulders, try to climb up set you on the top rope and try to climb up following you.
Okay.
Setting up for the superplex.
Ooh, a superplex into the glass. Okay. You still have narrative control.
So yeah, I guess I climb to the top and I set up for the superplex. I get head around your head. I stand on that top rope and I start to go back for it. And that's, I think, where I roll, right?
Yep, roll it. Let's see what you got. Very good. You hit that shit clean. Kitty slams through the glass, just absolute ragdoll. She is functionally limp at the moment. Her back is completely cut open. Blood is starting to stream down her traps. It is a hell of a look.
Oh, you're bloodied up, laying in this glass. I think I'm gonna come over and just try to. You're already down. You're already selling, but I I just want the pain. I just want this fight to keep going. I know it's going to take way more pain to stop you. So I'm going to just try to go while you're laying in the glass, full stomach in it. Just try to lock a crossface in and sit down in it too.
Ooh, very
Just-
good.
And I don't care there's glass on the ground. I've been in glass a million times
course
before,
not.
and I'm letting it dig into my legs as I wrench it deep.
We bathe in glass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh.
okay. Are you ceding control at this point?
I think so. I think I'm gonna give you. Yeah, just I have you in that hold in the glass. We're bathing in it. I want to see
In
what
that
your
case-
move out of that would be.
Kitty is going to bite you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bite the hand. She gets up, gives you a couple of stiff shots. Obviously, you're used to this. This is hardcore 101. And it's funny, you see her reach to something, and then the next thing you know, a glass light tube has been broken over your head. And she takes the broken end and she grabs you around the neck. And she's just like, "Is this what you wanted?" And stabs you in the forehead with the broken light tube.
Oh, yeah! I'm screaming. I'm selling. The blood's starting to come out.
Very, very John Moxley CZ dub. I love it.
Yeah.
I love this game. I think she would do it a couple more times just to really get the blood flow going. She'll toss it aside. And then where do we go from here? What's the next big spot?
Are you giving me big spot or you? Sorry.
I'm wondering. I think this would be an interesting position to get a pinning predicament, but I'm not entirely sure how. So I'm just going to... Hell, why not? The glass may have broken, but the chairs are still more or less still arranged. I'm just going to pick you up and once again pile driver into the chairs. No, pile driver is the wrong word. I'm looking for a brain buster, sheer drop brain buster onto the steel chair. Just fall back, bam, concussion city.
Oh. Yeah.
And now that that has happened, I just splay you in the center of the ring, make the cover, and I will cede control.
Awesome. So I'm kicking out 2.9. That's just, it's disgusting, but I can't go down that way. If I'm going to lose to Kitty Vicious, I'm losing to that finisher. I'm
Good.
losing to that.
You want the railgun driver.
I want the railgun driver. I kick out. I kind of mutter, "Not like that. Not like that." And I scoop up some of the glass as I'm on the ground and just throw it at you to try to distract you.
Mm-hmm.
And you would stumble up, and I'm just going to meet that with just the biggest boot, try to run you and just kick you into the corner, almost buckle bomb style.
Yep, perfect. That just happens.
Awesome. And there's still a table set up outside?
There's one table left, yes.
Awesome. And now you're hanging on that top rope. I want to climb up to the top, and I want to try to lift you up and try to set you up for my finisher.
I'm going to ask you a question, and there is a correct answer to this. Top of the ropes or top of the cage?
3 feet.
You know what?
I'm gonna try to drag you to the cage. I'm gonna try to drag you to the top of the cage.
Let's do it.
Drag
Let's
you up
do
to
it.
the top of it. And set you up for that finisher right off the top. That flosion, aiming for the table down below.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's where I need to roll.
Sure. Just roll it. Is your plan to get a pin out of this?
I'm gonna have to get you back in the ring still, right? Dude, can we pin you on the outside?
Yeah, false count anywhere.
False count anywhere? Yeah, then yeah, I'll try to get a pin out of this.
All right.
Awesome. I rolled an 8. Can I just straight add momentum to that roll?
You can.
but I have just a lot of momentum, and I know this is the last
you
match.
can go ahead.
So I want to bump 2 of the momentum I have into that to put it at 10.
Okay. All right. So you both fall off the top of the cage into the table. It is a devastating crunch. It frankly looks like there are no winners in a bump like this. It is horrific. And you pull yourself out of the wreckage. You get an arm over Kitty. The ref, now very careful because of all the glass, slides in 1, 2.
No!
Whose music is that?
Oh,
4 wrestlers enter from the top of the ramp, and you recognize them.
oh.
It is
Oh.
Jeff, Sakura, Insomnia, and El Hijo de Balístico, and they are the current 4-man tag champions of IWA, and they are here to steal the title out from under your nose.
Ooh.
On the other
Ooh.
side of the arena, does anyone else smell smoke?
This has all gone on long enough. All of this.
Go on then. I'm listening.
Cataclysm is my coronation. No one else's. I am using my move, Showstopper.
Uh-huh.
Once per episode, I can appear in any segment, in ring or out, and turn it into something about me.
Good,
When you make
good.
appearance, declare your agenda for the segment and continue on from there. If a player's wrestler tries to buck your plan, they break kayfabe.
Interesting.
I also gain +1 momentum when I make my appearance.
I like it. What exactly are you doing in this moment? Because you have 4 wrestlers climbing the cage, attempting to get in. The ref is distracted on a number of levels because A, we've just been invaded, and B, the venue is now on fire.
Ah.
You can hear the alarms. People are starting to
I have
to
exactly
funnel
one
out.
goal,
You have exactly one goal.
and that's retiring Vicious.
Retire Vicious. I love it. Get in
Any
there.
single thing in my way is going to be brought to its knees. Wrestler, ref, even the walls of the cage itself.
Alrighty then. I believe, Morgan, you still have... How do you react to this happening?
So there's a lot happening, and I just took a giant, probably biggest bump I've ever taken.
Probably in your career.
I guess I see the 4 guys climbing the cage, and I reach into the ring, and I grab the first kendo stick I can, and just try to start swatting at them to keep them out. I really need to win this match, but I can't win this match if there's a bunch of other people in the cage with me.
This is correct. I'm going to spend 1 of my momentum to take control. You feel a hand tap your shoulder, and while you weren't looking, I took a handful of the glass and just turned out the tape on my knuckles and wrists and just jammed it into my hands. My hands are bloody messes. You feel a tap on your shoulder, you turn around, and a straight right to the face.
Oh. Yeah.
It is vicious. At this point, the most mobile of the 2 invaders, Sakura and Balístico, have made it inside the ring. Insomnia and Jeff, our monster and technician respectively, have set up positions outside of the cage to make sure no one can get in and interfere further. The flames are starting. You can see fire now down the hallway. You can see the flickering of the light. Whatever is about to happen fast.
Eek.
And I believe that at this point, in the middle of the ring, Kitty would set up the railgun driver. unless someone interrupts.
I am doing everything in my power to interrupt.
Very good. What have you got?
Remind me what your setup looks like.
So, I'm just going to hand wave how you got into the cage. That's not particularly important. In fact, I'm going to say that they're starting to raise it as a fire hazard thing. So the railgun driver is a pump handle sit-out pile driver, where it's essentially she picks Morgan up, bodily flips her, folds her in half, and then slams her onto the ground. It's a fast move, but it is a process. And so I think as she's trying to get her up, this is George's opportunity to do something.
900, baby.
Yeah, I just paid to
really?
put myself over.
You did not.
100% I did.
Oh
I
my
figured.
god, I respect it. Let's do it.
100% I did. Are you kidding me?
There's
love
nowhere
it.
in the rules that it says you can't.
No, yeah, I'll allow this. I'll allow this. Let's go.
It's the most
Awesome.
heal thing I can do.
Yes, it is.
Right. So you'll have to catch me back up because I was busy typing in things on Tiltify.
Right. So we've currently got Sakura and Ballistico in the ring. We've got Jeff and Insomnia on the outside. You're just dashing past all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty has Morgan up, ready for the railgun driver. She's about to send it home. You've seen this move a million times, and you know exactly how to counter it.
Right.
How do you counter it?
I think I plant my feet. I position myself exactly in position so that her own momentum is going to drive herself like directly into the divine right.
Ooh, yeah, okay. So as she's got you up, it is a sit out pile driver. So there is a jump and comes down, and as she does, George slides in, she gets the fist up and drives it into the sternum under Kitty's own weight. It knocks the wind out of her. The move lands awkwardly and Kitty stumbles back. Morgan, you are now free to... I don't know what you would do at this point. I think Ballistico is going to take you out, George, with their signature move, the quick draw, which is a standing Spanish fly.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual legal man at this point is Morgan, who is faced with a incapacitated George, a Sakura who's still in front of her, a staggered Kitty, a building that is actively on fire, and still a trash can full of weapons.
I think I'm going to grab the full trash can, reach in, grab the black bag from the bottom of the trash can, hold on to that, but still throw. I want to throw it at who was the other one in the ring? Sakura.
Sakura, yes.
Yeah, throw the trash can at Sakura to try to make sure they don't interfere with me.
She sells it perfectly. It bounces straight off the chin. She falls onto her back.
Awesome. And then I'm just going to dump out this black bag I had. It's everything I wanted. It's thumbtacks, just the classic.
Yes, yes.
And I'm going to go, and I'm going to start selling really heavy for this. There's a lot happening. Not sure what's real, not sure what's fake at this point, but all I know is I need a win. And I grab Kitty up, and I get ready to do my finisher again, going for onto the thumbtacks.
As you do, she grabs your shoulder and leans in, and it looks like a last gasp, but you know better as she leans into your ear and just says, "Do it."
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna roll that. That's an 8.
Yep, I will take it.
Sick.
You
Just
hit
drives you in.
it beautifully.
Oh,
Tacks are locked. Kitty is motionless at this point. It has been a hell of a bout. She's bleeding. She has tacks in her body, glass in her body. She's going to be feeling this for weeks, if not months, after this night. This is the end of an era, and it is palpable in the air, along with the very real hazard of smoke inhalation.
so I go for the cover then.
You go for the cover. I
I don't even.
going to book you to win. However, that does not mean that anyone else can't interfere. So I'm going to put that on the table. The ref slides in for the count. 1, 2. And in a moment that seems to last forever, the ref's hand slaps the canvas. Morgan Birch, you have defeated the immortal Kitty Vicious in a hardcore cage match.
With the building on fire.
With
and
the
a bunch
building
of
on
people.
fire. Rescue is actively hurting people out. They pick you up, funnel you and Kitty into an ambulance, and drive out. And you watch as the venue burns to the ground behind you.
Jesus Christ.
We are almost certainly not getting that deposit back.
Oh. Never destroyed a venue before.
Never destroyed a venue before. That is definitely new. As you ride for the ambulance, Kitty sits up and she hands you the belt. And she just looks at you and goes, "Good job, kid."
Oh.
That's a hell of a match.
I would wish that I could emote more, but I feel like death.
Yeah, so does she. She passes out back onto the gurney.
Cool.
At this point, the camera lingers on the flames as the anti-piracy warnings flash across the credits. All footage is property of 9 Lives Wrestling, all rights reserved, etc., etc. And that
May I?
Hold on. Yes?
My apologies.
Go ahead.
I just want to use. I did spend 18 real American dollars to put myself over, and I want to use at least one of the abilities from it.
Okay, you know what? You cutting a promo in the burning wreckage of
Which is exactly what I want.
That's
exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want.
Send it.
I just want after everything has settled, after people have cleared out, after like the whole fight has concluded, the immortal has been done with, Morgan holds the belt, all of that. I just want to use my ability, having gone over, to declare a non-wrestling segment at the end of the show. And what that is going to be is just like a picture of George like in the center of the arena as like flames consume it. The audience is pouring out of like exits as fast as they can, and she's just like staring up at whatever, like one camera left running despite no one even holding it, and just a mic in hand. My coronation, my kingdom, my empire. Nothing but broken glass and flames. Morgan Birch, you are next.
Ooh,
and
chills.
That can end it.
Chills. I love it. If we were going to do this again, I would absolutely give you all an advance. That feels like repackaged gold.
Woo!
Somehow turning heel as a heel. Okay, Dominic Mysterio.
It is impressive. It's actually incredibly impressive.
All right. We have gone a bit longer than I actually anticipated, but this has gone wonderfully. Well done to everyone involved.
Yes. Good job, guys. Good job. That was very entertaining. Very good. We
This was a
got
good
to
time.
900, which is great. Amazing. Help all them little kitties.
Let's go.
So let's just remind people who you are and what you do and where to find you before we say goodnight for a year. Let's start with Sasha.
I'm Sasha Romanov, and I love wrestling.
Rosie.
My name is Rosemary Banks. I know nothing of wrestling, but boy, has this gotten me interested. I am a musician, internet person, pixel artist, whatever. You can find me at Bandcamp at Rosegold, ROXEGOLD. And you can also find me on YouTube under the same name, where I have my podcast where me and my friend Joanna talk about Pokemon movies. It's a good time.
Gretchen.
My name's Gretchen. I'm just a really big wrestling fan. I don't really have anything going on in my life to plug, but it's been a wonderful time hanging out here.
So she just wants to just watch wrestling. That's
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Watch wrestling.
Just watch wrestling.
Yeah, watch more wrestling, watch more Japanese wrestling, watch more Mexican wrestling. Anything not American, it's incredible, I promise.
And
But also
Illy.
tune in to All In on July 12th.
There you go.
Hello, name's Ileana. I don't do much. You might find me online at any random point. Username is Mythless.
Watch more wrestling.
And I watch more wrestling. Yeah, I'll definitely be
Watch
doing
more.
that.
Watch more wrestling.
Great time.
Also watch indie wrestling. Prestige.
Yes, definitely.
Prestige wrestling out of Portland. That's my favorite, at least.
There you go.
Ah,
That's very good.
nice.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for donating. I'll be cutting all of these guys down into, the trimmed versions of videos to put onto YouTube. So if you guys want to come back and watch them or have some friends who missed it, and I'll leave the donations open for a week in case anyone just wants to donate out of love for the kitties. But we'll be doing this again next year. Obviously, I don't have a date yet because I barely knew when I was doing it this year.
Yep.
But I really appreciate everyone. I appreciate all you guys that have joined me this weekend. 900 is great, but even if we only made 5, it's so much fun to just do this stuff with everyone. So,
Hey, we beat last time. I'll take it.
we did. So have a good night, everyone, and we will see you next year.